8 of the Diamond Challenge Sculls. Another single sculls race for us. What a joy we're in for seeing this today. Bakker of the Netherlands on the top of your screen versus Posnik of Poland on the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, this could be a great matchup. So we've got Posnik here, who was actually racing in the Olympics in Tokyo in the quadruple scull. He came 4th. He's been in a fantastic quad, but been out with injury this year, so won't be at the Olympics. And he's very excited to be here, but being warned through the island.
Straight away that flag comes out. Get back onto your station. We do not want to see a clash. And he has acted on that and moved. So you've raced Posnik then, Jack?
I have. I've raced Posnik quite a lot, and we came 2nd in the Olympics in Tokyo, only 0.4 seconds ahead of them, and they finished 4th. So heartbreaking for them, fantastic for us. But right now it's all about these two scullers, and it's head for head, really, really barrel to barrel.
And Posnik here on the bottom of your screen, the closest to us in yellow, staying very close to Bakker of the Netherlands. It will feel like they're in each other's pockets, won't it?
Really, like you would just be so aware of the noise of them, but also the noise of the water splashing around you, because I'll always say how bumpy it is here, and no bumpier than it is in a single scull. These boats are so narrow, they're so twitchy, you wouldn't ever notice it by looking at them, but they're really, really wobbly boats.
And both experienced scullers we're looking at. The Dutch sculler on the top of your screen, who's slightly masked by the bottom sculler, was a silver medalist at the World Under-23s last year. In the men's quads, he's used to running a faster boat class than this, but switched to single scull, and this is really one of the hardest boats to row here, isn't it, Jack?
It definitely is. It's the one I've always stayed away from, because like, look at that, it's brutal. They're side by side, right against each other, and what I'm really impressed with right now is how clean they're both staying. You're not seeing any white water in between strokes, really, really keeping their blades off the water, which is hard work when you're going as hard as this.
This is absolutely cracking. Look at the bow ball to bow ball. Do you know you're next to somebody that close? I guess you can hear them and slightly see them. You
are totally aware of it, and this is cracker, isn't it? Like, what do? You have to just stay with them, because if you're hurting, you're absolutely hurting, but if you let up, they'll get a bit of confidence from that.
And both of these scullers will be using this as a stepping stone. Right now, seeing Bakker still in contention to be the under-23 sculler. Sorry, at the bottom of the screen is Bakker, but leading him is Posnik of Poland, that experienced, that Olympian. He's side by side, but he knew what to do in that situation. I guess he's used to it being in big crew boats.
Yeah, I think also it's that case of, like, once you're side by side, maybe he can just hold his hand in the fire that bit longer. Maybe he's that little bit more physical than able to hold on. And wow, look at that. He's really opened up a distance now.
Somebody in the bank yesterday asked me, how does a crew get this much distance over another crew? And I guess physically, these rowers quite a lot of the time are going to be within quite a certain close percentage of each other. What's the difference that makes one crew so much faster than another?
Well, the difference is often how they move the boat. They might look quite similar, but there's some nuances into, how long is their stroke, how many strokes per minute are they taking, are they efficient with it, how are they applying their power. It's much more technical than it ever looks, but looks like Simon Posnik is doing a really lovely job of it now, and hopefully able to relax a bit.
Yeah, our sport is super technical. We might look like big oafs walking around on the bank, but look at the balance. That single scull, look at there, it's just about the same width as a rower's hips. In fact, your hips sometimes come over the side of the boat. It's a very skinny boat. It's a long and skinny boat, and it is super wobbly. It's made from carbon fiber. It's very light. You can throw it on your shoulder and carry it down to the water yourself. So there's not much between you and actually the elements. So being able to balance this boat, drive it along, like this incredible sculler from Poland is doing now, it's a real skill. And then what we're going to ask you to do after balancing the boat and sitting in it and being able to get it on the water is go flat out.
Yeah, exactly that. And getting these sort of views is fantastic, isn't it? Because these are the sort of views they're better than the views that any of our coaches used to give us, aren't they? This is the best footage from rowing I've ever seen.
I used to get a grainy video from a distance at Caversham, so we love this rowing, and we're loving these angles we're being given from our team.
Now, what would you be doing now if you were Bakker from Netherlands? Now, it says he's likely to be racing at the World Rowing Under 23 Championships this year, so maybe still in that development phase, whereas Posnik is an Olympian who's done a lot of World Championships. How would you be feeling? What I don't know what I'd be doing now, because this is really hard.
It's really hard because at this point in the race, to be honest, given something going wrong with Posnik, Bakker's going to lose and is going to be finishing his regatta today. You could use it as a bit of a test. You could see how loose you can keep in this situation. You could do a bit of practice of wine for the line, but he's probably gone flat out to stay side by side with Posnik, and he's just not been able to stay there. It's about soaking up the atmosphere, as we said before, enjoying this bit of the race, and start thinking about what training he might have to go and do the rest of the week now, looking towards trying to get that qualification slot to go to St Catherine's in Canada at the World Under 23 Championships this year. An absolute class act.
And Posnik did not let up there. He has, you can see the distance between the puddles. He has been putting some serious beef down underwater, and the hand up in the air, he's delighted with that.
Yeah, you may think sometimes, these races, if you win by this much, doesn't matter, but it does. These crews have got ready for this race, they've got to the start line, they've crossed, and they know they're through to the rest of the regatta. Look at that, what it means to them. Posnik, hand in the air, a win for him in the Diamond Challenge Sculls over Bakker of the Netherlands.